Your heart is pounding. Not the normal kind, the kind where you can feel it in your throat. Your chest is tight. Your hands are tingling. The room feels like it's closing in. And somewhere in the back of your mind, a voice whispers, "Something is very wrong. I think I'm dying." You're not dying. I need you to hear that first. You are not dying. What you're feeling right now, as terrifying as it is not dangerous. It's your body trying to protect you. Badly. At the worst possible time. But that's all it is. And I know that because I've been exactly where you are. Here's what's actually happening inside you, explained simply. Deep inside your brain, there's a small structure called the amygdala. Think of it as a smoke detector. Its one job is to scan for danger, constantly, automatically, without you even knowing. When it detects something threatening, a loud noise, a conflict, even just a stressful thought, it pulls an emergency alarm. Instantly. Before the thinking part of your brain can even weigh in. This is important. Your body reacts first. Your mind catches up later. That alarm triggers a flood of stress hormones, adrenaline, cortisol, and those hormones are what you actually feel. The racing heart? Adrenaline increasing your heart rate so blood pumps faster. The chest tightness? Your muscles tensing, preparing your body to move. The tingling hands? Blood redirecting away from your extremities toward your core. Shortness of breath, tunnel vision, nausea. That strange feeling of watching yourself from the outside, like you're not quite real. None of these are signs of something breaking. Every single one is your nervous system executing a protection protocol, a very old, very powerful system called fight or flight. The problem is, this system was designed for immediate physical threats. A confrontation, an accident, a split-second decision between running and standing your ground. It was never designed for the kind of threats we live with now, the ones that don't end, the uncertainty, the pressure, the relationship that drains you, the quiet sense that something about the way you're living doesn't fit who you actually are. And because those threats never fully resolve, the alarm never fully turns off. There's a long nerve running from your brainstem down through your chest and gut. It's called the vagus nerve. Think of it as the brake pedal for your nervous system. Then you're safe, truly safe. This nerve sends the signal to slow everything down. Heart rate drops. Breathing deepens. Muscles release. But here's where anxiety becomes a trap. When your chest tightens, you notice it. You think, "Why is my chest tight? Is something wrong?" That thought triggers a new spike of fear. Your amygdala reads that fear as fresh evidence of danger. More adrenaline, more chest tightness. The symptom becomes the trigger. The alarm starts feeding itself. This is why a panic attack spirals so fast. It's not that the danger is getting worse. It's that your body is reacting to its own reaction. Once you understand this loop, once you really see it, it starts to lose some of its power. Not all of it, not immediately, but some. Because fear of the feeling is what keeps the loop alive, and understanding is what begins to break it. Now here's the part most videos skip. Understanding the mechanism is one thing, but if you stop there, nothing changes. Because the deeper question isn't why your body reacts this way. The deeper question is, what is it reacting to? And the honest answer for a lot of people is your life. Not a single traumatic event, not a chemical imbalance that a pill can fix, but something slower, something that built up. A job that takes more than it gives. Habits you know aren't serving you. Relationships where you perform instead of connect. A lifestyle that looks fine from the outside, but sits heavy on the inside. Your nervous system is not broken. It's telling you something, and that something is usually, "This isn't working for me anymore." That's uncomfortable to hear, because it means the solution isn't a quick fix. Medications like benzodiazepines, Xanax, Klonopin can quiet the alarm in minutes. They work. That's the appeal. And that's the problem. Because they quiet the alarm without changing what's setting it off. Over time, your body needs more, and the underlying issue hasn't moved an inch. And it's not just prescriptions. A lot of people find their own way to quiet the alarm. A drink at the end of the day to take the edge off. Something stronger on the weekends to finally feel loose, feel normal, feel like the noise has stopped for a minute. And it makes sense why. Alcohol suppresses the activity of your amygdala. Directly. Quickly. That's not willpower failing. That's brain chemistry working exactly as expected. The alarm goes quiet. The shoulders drop. For a few hours, the world feels manageable. But here's what's happening underneath. When alcohol or any substance leaves your system, and it always does, your nervous system rebounds. Harder than before. Cortisol spikes higher than your baseline. Your amygdala becomes more reactive, not less. The anxiety doesn't just return, it returns with interest. So the thing that felt like relief last night becomes the reason you need relief again tomorrow. Not because you're weak, because that's how the rebound works. The nervous system always overcorrects. And over time, the gap between "I have a drink to relax" and "I can't relax without a drink" gets shorter than anyone expects. I was prescribed anti-anxiety medication for 6 months. Never took it. Not because I'm against medication, there are people who need it and it helps them, but because I realized my anxiety wasn't a malfunction. It was a signal. Something about the way I was living didn't fit who I actually was. The habits I'd built, what I tolerated, the distance between who I was being and who I needed to be. And when I started closing that gap, not overnight, but slowly, one honest change at a time, the anxiety started to quiet. It took over a year, it wasn't linear, but the alarm was never the enemy. It was the messenger. So, what does closing that gap actually look like? Not as a theory, as a life. It starts with the body, not because it's trendy, but because your nervous system lives in your body, not in your thoughts. And humans figured this out long before neuroscience existed. Walking, just walking, outside in the morning, before your phone tells you what to worry about. Movement is the oldest signal your nervous system recognizes as the threat is over. You moved, you survived, you can rest now. A 30-minute walk does what no amount of reasoning can. It tells your body, not your mind, that you're safe. Controlled breathing, yoga, meditation. These aren't wellness fads. Breathing techniques that slow your exhale have been practiced for thousands of years across India, China, Greece, because every culture independently discovered the same thing. Slow the breath. Pull the brake pedal. You directly stimulate the vagus nerve. Heart rate drops. The fog lifts. Not because you believed it would, because that's how the wiring works. A calm mind is not a mind with no problems. It's a mind with a regulated nervous system. And anxiety has almost no grip on a body that's been given what it actually needs. Then there's what you eat. This one's harder to hear, but your gut sends more signals to your brain than your brain sends to it. When you eat in a way that keeps blood sugar stable and reduces inflammation, you're not following a diet. You're removing noise that your amygdala was reading as danger. And then, maybe the hardest part, there are the people around you. Toxic relationships are one of the most overlooked drivers of chronic anxiety. The dramatic toxicity, as well as the quiet one, the person who leaves you feeling smaller after every conversation, the dynamic where you give your energy and get nothing back, where you've been performing a version of yourself for so long, you've forgotten what the real one feels like. Your nervous system registers all of that. Every interaction where you suppress what you actually feel, your body keeps the score, even when your mind has rationalized it away. Letting go of those dynamics isn't selfish. It's the most basic thing you can do for a nervous system that's been running on emergency power for too long. So if you're in the middle of it right now, that tight chest, that racing mind. Here's what I want you to know. What you are feeling will pass. Your body cannot sustain this forever. The adrenaline will metabolize. The vagus nerve will engage. This wave has a peak, and you are either approaching it or already past it. You are not going crazy. That detached feeling is just your nervous system turning down the volume. It's a safety mechanism, not a sign of losing your mind. But if this keeps happening, weeks, months, don't just manage the symptoms. Listen to what they're pointing at. Your nervous system will keep pulling the alarm until you address what's setting it off. And that starts with the relationship you have with yourself. One honest look at what you actually need, not what you've convinced yourself you should want. You're not broken. Your alarm system isn't broken. It's loud, and it's exhausting, and it feels like it's going to kill you. It's not. It is asking you to pay attention.